Welcome to the last lesson of this module on technical skills. In this section, we will examine the strategic use, benefits, and challenges of social media. Platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and LinkedIn have become central pillars of digital communication in the 21st century, representing an enormous shift from earlier forms of digital or traditional communication. Social media platforms function as dynamic spaces where users can share information, express opinions, and interact with others in both real-time and delayed formats. Its interactive and participatory nature, rather than one-way transmission from sender to receiver as in television, radio, or print, social media fosters two-way and many-to-many communication, allowing users to simultaneously act as content creators, curators, and consumers. This transformation in communicative roles is captured by scholar Axel Bruns through the concept of prod usage, a fusion of production and usage. According to Bruns, users are no longer passive recipients of information but are actively involved in shaping and circulating content. Furthermore, social media platforms are algorithmically driven environments, where what users see, engage with, and share is often determined by recommendation systems. This adds another layer of complexity to digital communication, as the flow of information is not only shaped by human choices but also by invisible computational logic. Social media thus redefines not only how we communicate, but also who gets heard, what becomes visible, and how publics are formed in the digital age. Now, when it comes to marketing, social media has completely changed the game. Brands are no longer talking at people through top-down, impersonal advertising models. But they are not talking with them. Content is more direct, more personalized, and more interactive. Platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and X offer brands the opportunity to engage directly with consumers. Companies can respond instantly to trends, memes, or even breaking news. We call this real-time marketing, and it's especially powerful in today's attention economy, where the scarcest resource is not information, but people's attention. Storytelling through visuals, short videos, and reels is key here. And let's not forget the role of influencers. Audiences often trust them more than corporate voices. Still, with this power comes responsibility. The strategic use of social media also demands careful coordination, consistency, and ethical responsibility, especially in relation to data privacy, transparency, and cultural sensitivity. Social media is not just about brands and entertainment, it's also political. Social media are now integral to political mobilization, enabling both top-down communication from political leaders and bottom-up activism from citizens and grassroots movements. Think about the Arab Spring or Occupy Wall Street. They can be described as self-configuring networks made possible by social media. But here's the catch. While platforms are great for mobilizing quickly, they don't always create sustainable structures. Many digital movements go viral fast but then fade because they lack long-term organization. And of course, there are risks. Reliance on centralized corporate platforms exposes movements to risks of algorithmic suppression, misinformation, and shifting platform policies. Social media has fundamentally reshaped how individuals construct, manage, and perform their identities in everyday life. Digital platforms can be considered as new stages for self-presentation. Drawing on Goffman's classic theory, we could say our social media profiles are our front stage, namely carefully curated versions of ourselves. But the real, unfiltered backstage often stays hidden. Another scholar, named Sherry Tickle, critically examines how digital platforms shape our emotional and social lives and talks about the illusion of intimacy. We feel constantly connected, but these connections are sometimes shallow, more about managing impressions than building genuine relationships. And then we have the algorithms, designed to capture our attention by prioritizing emotionally charged content. This leads to addictive scrolling, constant social comparison, and, unfortunately, higher levels of anxiety and depression, especially among young people. Zooming out, there are bigger ethical and political issues. Shoshana Zuboff talks about surveillance capitalism. In her groundbreaking book The Age of Surveillance Capitalism, Zuboff exposes how companies like Meta or Google make profits by collecting our data, Not just what we post, but how we behave, what we click, where we go. That data is then used to predict and even influence our decisions. This commodification of human experience reduces personal behavior to raw material for profit, raising profound concerns about privacy, individual autonomy, and the rise of a new form of power asymmetry. At the same time, algorithms create filter bubbles or echo chambers, where we only see content that confirms what we already believe and prefer. This amplification of confirmation bias and the reduction of exposure to dissenting perspectives increases polarization, spreads misinformation, and erodes trust in institutions. And this provokes profound implications for democratic deliberation and public discourse. So, what do we do with all this? The answer lies in critical digital literacy. This means going beyond technical skills, like how to use a platform. It means understanding the systems behind it, algorithms, business models, data tracking, and questioning the credibility of the content we see. It also means becoming aware of our own digital behaviors, how much time we spend, what we share, and how we respond emotionally. Education plays a huge role here, but so does civil society and media. Together, we need to empower users not just to consume content, but to engage responsibly, critically, and ethically.